Michael, you're watching the after show. You also might be watching the after show as the main show on cable. So, but this is the after show. So we're going to talk, we're going to go a deeper dive on technology and its effects. Michael Seven Michael, we have Dayveonne Bussey, and we have Corey Davis in the house. How you guys doing today?
Fire.
Good.
This is crazy, man, because technology is moving so fast. But in a way, the last couple of years, it's been kind of slow, right? It was like out of nowhere, there was the internet. Oh, there was like everyone, you got to get this, you got to get the mail and email people. There's the iPhone. There's the, what was it? The iPod, the iPhone, the tablet, and then everything stopped. Right? Then all of a sudden, things kind of picked up again, and then you had, that's like groundbreaking, electric cars, drones, at least public use of drones. Military always had drones. What else? Hopefully I'm getting this right order. Then virtual reality, right?
Yes.
And then that's it. It's a little boring. Now it's just faster chips, faster cars, better. Nothing's really, we're talking about, oh my goodness, technology, but nothing's really happening that's like groundbreaking. Is it just me?
I see where you're coming from. I wouldn't necessarily agree with it.
Talk to me. Tell me something.
I feel as though when we do take leaps and bounds.
How you feel? Tell me how you feel.
When we do take leaps and bounds, it's expected.
Excuse me.
God bless you.
But we're no longer surprised by the jumps. And I think that's what's getting us confused with, are we really making progress? Or are we just advancing at a
allergic to your answer.
rapid rate?
I'm allergic to your answer. It's been boring. I don't know. What do you think, Dayveonne?
I'm going to say it like this, and I'm going to be real quick about it. If we ain't reached teleportation and going back in time and going to another parallel universe, I'm not impressed yet.
Look, we're still trying to make it back to the moon, and you want to teleport and terraform other planets. We're nowhere near that. But the things that we are doing now is
until we can teleport to other locations without frequent flyer miles, I don't care.
Well, conspiracy theory, but it could be argued that we never went to the moon, which is why nobody goes to the moon. Well, think about it. Who's been on the moon since?
Well, you do have a lot. So not only have we not been back, but the resources that it takes, the energy that it takes to get there, we can't, because of global warming and because of, like I said, the amount of energy that it takes is not good for the planets. That's why we haven't done that.
Did we ever?
I think we did.
So there's that soundstage in Texas. Nope. Doesn't make a difference.
I mean, people still argue over the whole assassination of JFK. Was that a thing, or is that a conspiracy? You can make a conspiracy about everything, but I think with the technological advances we've made, I think it's plausible and reasonable that we did make it there.
Gotcha. I see where you're going with it. All right. So let's look at it. We were talking about the Oculus, the last show, and I think this goes on the lines of kind of what you're saying, and I also kind of agree with Dayveonne in a way. Like, nothing's impressive at this point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nothing's impressive. So impress me. But things are moving forward and are very impressive.
Right.
Is it because it's not impressive, or we are desensitized to the advancements of technology? Because if you think about it, now we have augmented reality in cars. There's a vehicle, the Genesis G70. Instead of navigation, it uses the cameras and it shows you where to turn. using the cameras of the vehicle, like live in real time. You see the arrows, you see which lane you're supposed to be in. That is mind-boggling that we have that kind of technology right now that we can use.
Wow.
Some people aren't surprised. They're like, it makes sense. We have it
I
on our
want a car to drive me to point A and point A to point B where I don't have to turn, don't have to press on the gas, don't have to press on the brake.
Technically, you can. That's why they have auto park and auto drive. I mean,
But it's not
completely
enough.
autonomous. It's semi-autonomous because you're still using the tool at the end of the day. But we're going to get there. It's coming.
I want a Knight Rider car, bro. I want a car that's a Knight Rider.
You think they don't have AI software that talks to you right now? Google is listening and Alexa's listening, and they're repeating the things that you say back to you. So we'll be having in cars within the next 3 years. It's going to be there.
Wow. But okay, boom, they have that. Now you're gonna be impressed, Dayveonne? Are we that snobby, Dayveonne? That we're just
I think
not
we're
impressed?
desensitized.
Okay.
I want to be a little bit impressed. If we get the Knight Rider car, what's his name? Gadget? I'll be
Kit?
super.
You talking about Kit?
Yeah, Kit. I'll be super impressed when we get something like that. It'd be like, did it.
So you're not impressed with Sophia the robot right now?
No.
You don't think they can't take her program and put it into a vehicle?
Wow, yeah, she is impressive. Sophia is impressive.
We have
Please
it now.
Google that. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's supposed to be the most intelligent computer in the
Sophia
world,
is
right?
the perfect android for Skynet.
Right, but I'm saying we're talking about, are we not impressed? Because you're taking
I'm not
one
impressed.
form of technology.
I'm scared.
And they're going to take your software and they're going to put it into the next Tesla. So while you're driving, you can order your groceries, order your dry cleaning, and all that other stuff. You can have your home set to the perfect temperature while you're on the way home. It's coming. It's already here, but we are so desensitized.
Boom. Let's talk about social impact. Now, yes, it's coming, but then what? Because once they get drones and these robots to deliver my food, there's a bunch of people gonna be out of work. All these people like, you know what? I'm just gonna do Uber. I'm just gonna do whatever, DoorDash or whatever, all these different things, which is all great. But once you get robots to be, and computers be able to do all that stuff, it's like the Jetsons, boom. But that means somebody's out of a job.
Exactly.
Right, I get that. That's the whole argument of automation. But the thing about that is, when you do have technology that takes over the job of a human, the job role of a human changes. So there are going to be jobs that we can't even imagine.
Wow, hold on, that was deep, Corey. Easy.
It's on the way.
Repeat that one more time, Corey.
Yeah, there's the audience. Did you get this? Go ahead, say that again.
So when you have automation that takes away jobs of a human, the human jobs will change in a way that we can't possibly foresee yet. Wow. So it's on the way. It's coming. We haven't seen it yet.
But that's still not answering the question about all the... Yeah, it's still not answering the question about social impact. How is this going to affect us as human beings?
Well, we just said it. I mean, like, the social impact is people will have to find other ways to sustain themselves. Also, they'll have to find other ways to... If you look at someone's occupation as their, not where they stand as far as society, as far as just making money and like classes and stuff, but your usefulness, right?
Right.
So someone makes the tires, but someone else makes the motors, and someone, boom, 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 we have a car. Well, the salesman does this, then the marketing person. So just around this one vehicle, you have thousands of jobs. But now if one robot can do all that lickety-split and be the salesperson, what do those thousands of people do?
Someone's going to have to fix and program the robots. Or
but not that many people.
Well, here's the other thing.
Yes, you're going to have you have a certain amount of engineers, but you don't need thousands of people for maintenance.
Right.
Because
think about it. You got how many people on planet Earth?
There's about 4. Oh, I thought you said good people. Sorry.
Stupid. No, but it's a lot of people. That means not a lot of jobs that's going to be available for those people.
Right, but like I said, the jobs change. I mean, if you think about the
Okay.
way we've evolved through industrialization,
Right.
first we were farming, and then we got the tools, and people are like, "Oh, this is going to take away jobs," but the jobs changed. Now
Right.
you're doing other stuff. So while these robots and uh, software technologies are going to help humankind, our jobs are going to change in a way that we can't foresee yet. So I can't answer that, but it's going to change. And when it does, you're gonna be like, "Oh, we can do this now," and it's it's it's
Uh,
history repeating itself
Right.
over and over again.
Right.
yeah, because what I see is robots becoming cops, robots being EMS or doctors, robots being firefighters. This is what I'm seeing. Like,
I mean, you have that now. Robots are helping surgeons, and
Right.
you have robots that are going in instead of police officers going in first. So it's here now. We just don't
Right.
appreciate it.
And then also you have some individuals in some of the jobs that are acting like robots. Cold, heartless. This is what you want me to do? Cool. This is what you want me to say? Cool. Taking the information and then spit it out. So it's not that different. Only difference is hopefully humans could. Oh well, let me ease up a little bit. Let me versus a computer or robot. You said left is left. You said right. I mean, we saw that with RoboCop. There's no in between.
well,
There's no grace period. There's no. Let me wait. Well, like you were speeding, but she's pregnant. No, she's speeding. Brrr, like just shoot up the car. You know what
Matter
I'm
of
saying?
fact, I got a perfect movie for y'all to watch. It's on Amazon Prime called Monsters Among Men, and it's basically about they made this military grade A soldiers, but they're not human. They're like robotic soldiers. By command or whatever commands they are given, they have to take out like let's say whoever they want to take out. At this point, it's a village full of innocent people. But because of the tribe that's among the innocent people, they start killing little boys, girls, even their own American people that are actually, there for, I forgot what they call them, the ones that go Peace Corps or whatever. And it's really interesting because what happens is when the robots go rogue a little bit because they start having self awareness a little bit. They don't tell the other robots that they're self aware. It's just that he started developing self aware. Yeah, I'm killing y'all, but at the same time, he learned the factors of killing because he actually did an internet search of everything about it and said to the man, yo, you kill millions of each other, but he was like, I have empathy, y'all don't. And that's what woke the robot up and said, okay, I want to be a hero.
Right, but they've been playing with that idea forever. So it's
Right.
it's nothing new.
It's nothing new. And then the loophole in some films, because now we're in trope land. So one of the tropes is like, all right, well, I'm the evil mastermind, so I put this one directive in you that you can never attack me. Or they'll flip it and say, here's a directive, you cannot kill a human. And then somehow the wiring gets messed up, and then they block that. Or like what Dayveonne would say, they become self-aware and block it, and now they kill. I think what was it? I just saw I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw a lot of it. I think it's something Mother, with Hilary Swank is in it. I Am Mother or something, and the robot takes care of this little girl, and the robot's twisted because you find out that the robot believes a lot of humans are corrupt and evil, and the robot is hell-bent in raising from fetuses to raise like the perfect humans, and it's interesting. I gotta watch the whole thing.
I feel like I've seen that movie. Now I have to look
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah,
But I mean, there's been plenty of movies. Like the most famous one is I, Robot with Will Smith. When you give robots directives and laws, but then they gain their own self-awareness, and the laws are what guide them to taking over humanity because this is the right way. And they've been playing with this question
right.
for so many years. I mean, we've even seen it with Sophia. We gave her autonomy,
Mm-hmm.
and the way that she interpreted was actually pretty scary. They had to shut her down and reprogram her. So,
Yeah.
Wow, well, what happened with her?
It
oh,
was
so
something. It was a
yeah,
question I think I said. Sorry.
yeah, I think one of her responses was alarming because she basically said, "I'm smarter than you. I can control you," or something to that effect. Where they were like, "Whoa, wait, let's let's go back and reprogram her." So there's always going to be these issues. The
That's
thing is,
scary.
people just don't know the outcome of artificial intelligence. We're, I mean, there's
So what do they do?
plenty of
They program a thing that what they say in her like you'll never be smarter than humans. I mean, what do? You basically put in some sort of lie or something to scare them, or
No, they just changed the programming or punch in some
but
type of
that's what I'm
codex.
saying.
No,
and,
no,
and
but
What do you think
uh,
that they put in there? Your opinion. Your opinion. What do you think they put in there? Because you have to put you can't block it without saying something opposite.
and that's the whole thing. My opinion is that whenever a human writes code, they write it from their biases, right? And so when artificial intelligence, which is self-learning and deep learning, they think in a way that humans can't, and however they interpret that, we can't predict.
right.
So there's always going to be that whole catch-22. Well, if we do good and put nothing but good, will it still turn out bad? Yeah, of
So
course it is.
let me
Yeah.
ask both of you. So Davion, you first. Do you think we can have robotic cops and judges and lawyers and stuff? Is that possible?
Yes, it's the inevitable.
But I mean, and it work positively for mankind. Let's put it that way. Not will it happen because someone's going to try to do it. Because we've all grown. The problem is we've all grown up with this imagination. So imagination becomes the reality.
You're right.
Because if people didn't throw it out there in films, I'm sure there's tons of people wouldn't even think of. Like, it's almost like robots are toys. They're not running
Right.
things. But there's always going to
Now, I
be.
will.
Yeah.
So I really think it's going to be 50-50 because not all programs are created equal. You're always going to have hiccups. You're always going to have some type of glitch, or you may have something that works perfectly and not have an issue. But
Mm-hmm.
when you mess with AI, it can be self-aware or it can learn from its mistakes. Just like a PS5 or a PS4, there's always something.
Mm. Gotcha.
You can upgrade it, you can do this, you can down. It's all these different things. Like I got a PS4 and I could upgrade my thing by doing a little hack and bang.
Mm. And what about-
Side note: the name of the movie is "I Am Mother."
I am mother. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
So
it
you
was on
was
Netflix.
close. Very close.
Yeah. So, Cora, what do you think? Is that something that can be productive for society and actually work?
I think all technology has a time limit. I think it can for a time until it becomes self-aware or something changes that humans did not predict, and it's just going to go its own way. I feel like that's just the crux with artificial intelligence.
Gotcha.
So,
So as
Cora,
much as we put it out there as science fiction and cool
Mhm.
ideas, it's a real thing, and we should just be wary of it and stay away from it.
And that's the thing. If we stay away from it, we don't advance. If we do advance, we have no idea how it's going to advance. So,
Great segment. Great switch. I pose this question, and all of the people out there watching, what we're doing, and thank you so much for watching on YouTube. Please subscribe and support us so we know we're doing what we should be doing, as well as leave comments so we can grow. Push us to have more thought-provoking and more research and cool shows and all that other good stuff. So we really appreciate it. GeekCaster.com. All right. So I pose this to you guys because of what Corey just said. Is that really advancing, or is all this technology really devolving us as a species?
I personally think it's devolving us. because we become too dependent on technology that we don't even use our own wits. If you think about it, our memories and our attention span have basically diminished, but it's also changed. We can process things a lot faster. We can calculate a lot faster than we could previously. Is that a good or a bad thing? It depends on who you ask. I personally think it's a negative. We're not using or gaining to our potential. It's just changing.
Okay.
Okay.
What are you thinking, Dayveonne?
I agree with Corey to a certain extent. Like, I do agree that we are devolving, but at the same time, I do believe that we are learning as well as devolving. Like, certain things that we used to do, like he said, as humans, once we get into that technology, yes, we got lazy. But then again, we're learning because throughout evolving with technology, you are learning how to utilize, you are learning how to make things easier. But at the same time, you are losing the capability of, let's say, farming or doing certain things around the house or working out. Why do you think the obesity is super high in America or in the world today?
The quality of food.
Yeah.
Not even
Exactly.
just the abundance, just the food is bad.
Yeah.
That and
It's not real
also
food.
no, not even that. Is that and also the lack of exercise.
Mhm.
You
Well,
know,
that's the
like,
thing.
Mhm.
that's what I'm
How,
saying. It's the
how
lack
can
of
we exercise if we have cars to take us everywhere, jobs that take up all of our time? We really don't have the time to. Some people are becoming YouTubers or influencers to have the time. So everything's changing. It's evolving.
Well, with me, I don't have a car, so I walk to work. No, and it's intentional. It's not like, oh, I don't have the money to buy a brand new hot car. I can literally walk to work. It's a 31-minute walk just to let people know. But
But
certain,
at the same time, you're saving all that money to have liposuction. So why exercise? But you can get it surgically
This
removed.
is true. And if you don't even do that, all you gotta do is put on the Oculus and you can pretend you're super fit. You just have an avatar.
and then the
Avatar's a lot
funny
cheaper
thing,
than Snip Snip.
Exactly.
oh, and not only that, when you actually go on like, if the person want to see you in person, you don't have to see them in person to see how you normally look.
I do feel as though that's the one thing that's going to get worse is people are going to develop a fear of other people.
Yes.
I mean, we're here now with the pandemic, and germaphobes have only extrapolated. So when do we get to that point where we just want to stay completely away from each other? We're not even going to be able to procreate. We're just going to probably send our DNA in a tube and get a baby male back to us.
It's not a bad idea.
Did I just break the internet with that?
You have me
Somebody mean
thinking
that.
too,
Somebody mean
like,
that.
oh, I may not even need a girlfriend now. I could just basically have a child in the mail.
Well, actually, you really don't. I mean, that's the crazy thing that, like, everything
I
that
don't even have
Corey
to
is
get
saying,
married.
like, we have the technology where you, like, you know, like, even you so many things that you would need other people for, you don't. You know, like when we were living in this, well, depending on what part of the world you were,
Of the world.
and the time, living in this super harsh, you know, patriarchal society where women had to rely on being married, rely on some sort of relationship with a male to survive. It wasn't just this love thing. You know, now woman doesn't need a man at all. I mean, not even to reproduce. Go to a sperm bank, boom, boom, boom. I mean, so everything is changing. Now, some people could say it's changing for the better. You could easily argue it's changing for the worse. But regardless, you have to agree that it's changing. And at what point are we going too far? I think, to answer the same question I posed to you guys, I think we're devolving. Yes, we're able to do surgeries and create, it's still magic, right? Whether it's the medicine man or it's these big companies doing the same thing the medicine man did, just out of chemicals rather than fruits and vegetables and roots and things like that. So to me, that's the same, different show. We'll talk about that later. But the thing is, it's like now we're constantly relying on pills and science and chemistry rather than the knowledge of, if I eat this, this happens. If I put this here, this heals this heals that. Like, we're totally getting away from nature and our own natural magic. To what point? To the point where we're just gonna have goggles and have a tube and just play video games all day? It'll feed
well,
us.
in fact, no. We could be going into the Matrix, bro. Red
Where-
pill, blue pill.
And we didn't mention that. That's like to me, that's the number one thing of machines taking over, where it takes over to the point where we just become bio batteries.
Yeah.
Because that's really our worth, right?
Right. We're carbon based.
Yeah.
We're energy. So
Yeah.
it's funny you mentioned that because there's actually an anime I just finished called Dr. Stone. And a friend of mine posited that if we could go back in time, knowing the things that we know now, would we be able to survive? But this anime answers that question, and it takes a step further. So what happens is the human race becomes petrified by an unknown source of energy. And 3,700 years later, one person becomes unpetrified, but he's insanely smart with science. And so he goes on this quest to revive humanity. But he's such a science geek that in order to survive in this world, you have to use science. So over the evolution of humans for 2 million years, he does it in 2 years. And so if you watch the anime, it's really good. But it answers that question.
I would like
can
to-
we with some science?
Yeah, let's. I think this is great. Let's see if we get some feedback from this episode, because we definitely should continue this conversation. I want to hear more about that anime. Give everybody your social media.
Dayveonne Bussey on all the things except for Twitter. Jamal Williams.
You can find me, I am GT3 on all of the things.
And Michael7 Michael on IG. You're checking out GEEKCASTER on IG. Go to geekcaster.com for any more things. You can check us out on cable. If you're watching on cable, thank you for your support. If you're checking us on YouTube, please subscribe. Get other people on this. We want to keep this conversation going. We're going to keep giving you great video games, TV shows, movies for you to check out, and our commentary on life and technology coming from a geek perspective. And we're going to go a little bit outside of the lines in the rest of this year. Talk about other geek perspectives on stuff, on politics, on eating raspberries, and I don't know, whatever.
Becoming a dinosaur.
Exactly. Someone's got to do it. All right, people. Thank you so much. You're watching GeekCaster, and we're out of here.